1304, as well as using some funds that were left in supplement. And then you have your final 1303, which you asked for whatever money you couldn't find in your other years. So that's what all those 1303 carryover application budget are. We're sure what fiscal year 02 looks like. This fiscal year 03, that was an estimated amount because that budget it closed out October 31st. We have a 9-day period to distribute funds for any unobligated, so we're still closing out those POs. Fiscal year 04 is what we're currently in. I went back to that budget, and we usually start the year off where I allocate for insurance over than what we need and some other things, so we were able to pull some funds out of the normal base budget to be moved into construction. Some funds left in our supplement that came, so that's where we gathered all the funds. But we're also asking for any of those remaining funds. Currently, right now, the school board pulls 3.5% in indirect costs. We're asking for any remaining funds in fiscal year 02, 03, and that supplement, those balances go back into the construction. And then we're asking, when we do ask the Office of Head Start for an additional supplement fund, which probably will be in excess of $1 million for funding, we're asking the school board to waive the 3.5 indirect those as well. Any questions? That's all the 1303 information. And then the other two things that are on the agenda are 2 additional positions that, as we started the program, we always said we're growing and learning. There is a need for another LPN because the health services side of the Head Start program is enormous in the requirements. And then we need an additional person for the maintenance side, and that's that 12-month custodial position that would basically go between all 4 centers, helping with minor repairs and checks and different.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Potteet.
Second. Question.
Second by Mr. Fusilier.
Question.
Any questions?
Nicole, so the waive the 3.5%.
We have a remaining balance in 02, which is about $183,000. I think that was about $6,000. The 03, just indirect.
That's just from your
year 02, year 03. Yeah, just mine. Just this Head Start grant, not any other. Not any other. And
so this is all money coming from you and not the school.
Yes. And so I'm being specific in saying I need the remaining balance that was in fiscal year 02, 03, and the supplement to go back. I'm leaving fiscal year 04, that if whatever funds we use this year, y'all are still doing, the school board is still doing the 3.5%. And then when we submit the application to the Office of Head Start, if it's gonna cost $1 million for renovations or purchases, we're asking that we don't add 3.5% to that for indirect costs. So that's what it is, yes.
Any more discussion? Okay, let's vote.
You can't vote.
Yes, we can hear you. Can y'all talk?
Ms. Wong, you can no longer vote remotely. That COVID allowance was withdrawn with the executive order by the governor.
Motion passed. Item 2B, general fund monthly budget to actual comparison. Ms. Broussard.
That's what I handed out before the meeting, just a monthly thing that'll be handed out. No action has to be taken. It just has to be documented that it was given.
Okay, any questions about that? Item 2C, accepting the lowest bid for the children. Mr. Will?
Yes, as I mentioned, the lowest bid for the installation came in at $74,900. The lowest bidder is Bernard. Again, the original budget for the installation was $260,000, so we're way under budget. The only issue is securing a funding source just for the installation. The chairs have already been purchased through ESSER, but it's the installation that's
So one of the other things I handed out before the meeting was an updated schedule of what funds were available in the bond. And there are parish-wide funds available there of about 372,000.
What is the installation charge, you know?
$74,000.
75,000.
That's for the bid, I'm talking about the.
No,
That's
Oh,
the
chillers paid for it.
Yeah, that's the two that I need now.
So we either have to take it out of the Brobridge area funds or the parish wide.
Or the
Well,
parish
see,
wide.
You have 372,312 parish wide.
That's not the only chillers we have to replace. right?
No, we have two more at Whiteville. They'll be on the February agenda.
They have, who else?
So where are the funds coming from, please?
No, that,
That's what we're looking at. We have 372,000 left in parish-wide funds for the bond program, and then each area still has funds as well.
I got a
Which
question.
is parish swap, right?
Okay, another question. That chiller in St. Martinville is smaller than the one in
two
Brobridge,
of, two of them.
Two of them? So is that price gonna be,
Well, we don't know what it's gonna come in at.
but I'm talking about the installation, it'll probably be, do you think is it size-wise?
I would venture to say that, you're probably looking at using this as a benchmark,
Right.
and really and truly
You
you
don't
can't, but let's just say, for argument's sake, assume double this,
That's what I was wondering.
so that is to be determined, in the next couple of months in February. Now, to refresh your memories, when this thing was initially brought to the board, we had ESSER funds, which were obtained to take care of the purchase of the material. And there were available balances in the parish-wide administration of bond that would have taken care of the balance of installation. And then in the event that there would be any shortcomings after that for either the engineering or contingencies, that at that point in time, it would be readdressed and possibly either on a parish-wide or on a district basis, you look into the individual bond funds of those areas as y'all would decide. But initially, it was ESSA funds for the material and parish-wide funding for installation, and to be determined at the prices that come in and the monies available on the back end.
So for the most part, we're not looking at 75,000. We need to think ahead and say that's gonna be roughly another 150 on top of that 75.
Yeah.
So you're looking at
Why did
225,000.
they need two? Brobridge only has one big one?
No, Brobridge has two.
Two, but one was still good.
One
was already
was
changed.
changed, not.
The Brobridge, the one was changed in 2016 bond.
Okay.
This one, all of these chillers are all over 25 years old. And if you remember correctly, it was brought as there were some available monies, and lead time on the replacement of this chiller was 1 year. So Brobridge has the ability to run on one chiller for a short period of time. St. Martinville does not have that availability. If either one of those chillers goes out in St. Martinville, the other one cannot sustain the entirety of the school, and we'd be in a bind.
Right.
So we had determined at that point in time, let's change these things out, get them all upgraded, and for the next 20 years or so, we put it to bed. And that was the reasoning for the decision on moving these things, even though they are functional at this time.
I understand.
So that's where we're at with it.
Well, if we take it from parish-wide funding, we're gonna drop that parish-wide funding, not today, but we're gonna eventually drop it down to 125,000, just to let y'all know. So do we take it all out of parish-wide funding or take maybe half and half? I don't know.
But we're gonna drop it
Cross
down
that
to-
bridge when we
We're
get
gonna
to it.
drop it down to 250,000.
With this one,
Because we
yeah,
have $350,000.
right, just for tonight, but eventually when we have to pay that.
So
If
that
we do
means,
if we do it for Brobridge, we're gonna have to do it for St. Martin.
that means if
Then what we're gonna give us to see?
if it's 150,000 for someone.
You just gotta roof.
You just got a roof.
You gotta roof on your chiller.
So we have $75,000 left.
So y'all wanna take it out of parish-wide?
Make a motion. Leadership on
Sounds
this
good.
14, and we take it out of parish.
And the rest we can let it to the city.
Right here,
Yeah.
second.
Give it this. there you go.
Second by
I
Mr.
didn't know.
Dozier. Let's vote.
That's fair. We run out of money, we run out. That's all.
We'll cross that.
Motion passed.
We need to, we need to start.
It's a need, you know, it's a necessity.
Right, we have that.
Yeah, you can't teach one.
Well,
We went to school.
We will discuss this between high school baseball borrowing funds for renovation.
Okay, baseball coaches at the high school contacted me, well, it's been ongoing, and they finally came up with a game plan on what they want to do at the school, baseball coach and Ms. Uze. He doesn't have a direct dollar amount just yet, but he wants to know if we're gonna do like we've done with other schools, if he can come and borrow money to build the batting, it's a batting cage dressing room, I think is what he's doing, and then he's gonna repay it, just like all the other sports go and everything. And he doesn't have the exact dollar amount yet, but it's not gonna be an outrageous amount because he's keeping it fairly simple.
It's a new building.
Well, it's a batting cage for the most part, and
You said a restroom or something?
the storage, like a dressing room.
Just for this
They put it- we need to vote on it, if y'all, that's why I put it on the finance committee. And then if it's an outrageous amount, I'll definitely come back and let y'all know what it is and everything. But he's still out there getting bids on it and everything with the construction companies and everything. So,
Does he have a game plan on how much he would be able to pay each year to pay that?
oh yeah, he'll probably put about, I would think about 5,000 a year, because that's what I want to say the softball team is doing, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, though, the softball team is supposed to start paying more. There was,
This coming up.
yes, yeah.
So I have a motion on the floor to loan money to the Cecilia High School. A dollar amount? Y'all want a dollar amount? Okay, I'll continue to have him, get that. As soon as I have the figures, then we'll go from there. Okay, that sounds good. You should have it by then.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Cochi, second by Mr. Fusilier. We adjourn.
All right, I think we can just move on to the regular meeting. All right, the first item is, any acclamations?
Yes, I have several acclamations, Mr. President. The first acclamation is I'll start with, I don't know if all of you are aware, but at our cabinet meeting on Monday, Dr. Dalford announced that she is retiring. Her last day will be December 22nd. This is bittersweet for us, but in my opinion, is well deserved. She's given most of her life, just about half. No, I'm not gonna say half. I take that back. She's given a large portion of her life to. She's given a large portion of her life for time.
That's okay.
To Seymour Parish. I believe when she spoke to us, she mentioned that 30+ years of her service to the students has been in Seymour Parish. So we wish her well. We know that this, and I'm not going into detail, but we've had some long talks, and I know that this was not an easy decision for her. But the day after she made, we had a conversation. She came to me, and I could tell that a weight had been lifted off of her. So it's well deserved. Dr. Dalford, we appreciate everything that you've done. She did mention to me that she's going to continue to assist us. She's not just running away, but I think this is some well-deserved time for her to be able to enjoy her retirement and start to do things that she wants to do. So congratulations to you.
I'd like to say I had the pleasure of working with Ms. Dalford several times, and I
Yes,
really enjoyed it.
we talked not far from each other, and then
When you gonna speak?
I'm not a speech giver, but I'm going to tell you, as Mr. Will said, it's bittersweet for me as well. I have been in education since 1984. So total years in education is really 39 this year. Somebody said you don't want to make 40? No. She has 50, but more power to you. I can't do that. No. But, you know, it was a very, very difficult decision for me to make, to the point to where it was even impacting my health. I did not want to leave Mr. Looks because I made a commitment to him that I would stay and help him. My mother is ill. She has dementia. It has been taking a toll on my two sisters who have been taking care of her. And so it's my turn. It's my turn to retire and do what I need to help my mother and to really help my sisters because she's entering that final stage. And so it's difficult, but I do want to thank you for allowing me to serve you and the children of St. Martin Parish. This is and will always be home to me. As Mr. Bochy said, we taught not far from each other at St. Martinville High School. I first started at Turley's Catholic. So I have some years there. I did a graduate assistant 1 year when I was working on my dissertation. So I've been in education for a long time. And, you know, last night I woke up in the night and I was like, okay, wait, did I make a mistake? And on the way to school this morning, I was listening to a pastor and the title of his speech was, "It is your season to be selfish." And it hit me because it's not that I'm trying to be selfish, but I'm being selfish for my family now. Not necessarily, you know, I have done a lot. I spent a lot of money helping my children, buying them lunch for the kids in my classroom when they didn't have lunch money, you know. But now it's time for me to put that time into my family and my mother, my only living parents. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I will not leave Mr. Wilk and the team high and dry. I am outlining a plan of detailed daily, every month, what you have to do, daily, what's coming up, and so forth, so.
Yes, I have, recently, Love Our Schools, Acadiana reached out to Miss Wendy and I in reference to, you know that there was an Act 264, which was put into legislation by the governor in reference to having, in-government trust displayed in all the classrooms. We do have it in the boardroom, but it was to display in every classroom. So Love Our Schools contacted us in reference to a company out of Baker, Louisiana, Baker Printing, and Baker Printing graciously asked or said that they were going to donate a sign for every classroom within St. Martin Parish. All we had to do was give them that number. So on this morning, representatives from Love Our Schools came and provided me with those signs, which we're going to distribute to the schools free of charge. And this is what the sign looks like, and it'll be posted in every classroom here in the parish. I just wanted to publicly thank Baker Printing as well as Love Our Schools Acadiana for donating this and being gracious, because we really didn't know how we were going to go about printing all of these and then getting them placed within the school. So that was a very, very thoughtful gesture on their part. So.
Awesome.
All right. Next acclamation is I want to congratulate the Cecilia High School football team for making it to the Division II non-select championship. As you all are aware, they will be playing on Friday at 12 noon versus the Opelousas Tigers. We wish them well. I want to just say I've been to several games this year, and the way Miss Yuzi and her staff handle the enormous crowds and the way the coaches and the players conduct themselves is to be commended. We wish them luck. We want them to bring this trophy back to St. Martin Parish because it's been 28 years since Cecilia High School's been there. And as you all know, you have coaching experience or have children that play sports, getting to a state championship is not an easy task. So we want to wish them well. There has been a tremendous outpouring of support from the district. So if you did, good luck to y'all, and we hope that y'all bring the trophy back to St. Martin.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Last but not least, our employee of the month this month is Ms. Kylie Amira, who works in the business office. Ms. Kylie was nominated by Ms. Christy Hewlett and Ms. Adrian Hewhall, and I'll let them come up and say a few words for Ms. Kylie.
Music down
Okay, so Adrian and I wanted to nominate Kylie because, as y'all know, she came in mid-year last school year, which is a difficult task to begin with, coming into a new job. And with ESER 2, ESER 3, she had to really tackle that. She did it quickly, phenomenally dedicated. She'd often, when we'd come with questions, she'd say, let me wrap my head around it, and come back the next day, y'all, I lost sleep on this, but I figured it out. And she just had such a strong dedication to the job and a commitment to us and helping us that we could not nominate you.
And I just want to add, because Kylie also is my right-hand person in reference to finance for all the early childhood grants. And so Ms. Bonnie did a great job prior to her, and then Kylie came in going, I'm gonna learn it, just have patience. And my reply to her was, you have patience with me, I'm gonna have patience with you. So there's many a times that I appreciate that I call her at 3:15 in the afternoon and go, Kylie, you have a minute to talk Head Start budget or early childhood budgets, and who at 3:15 when we get up at 4:30 is really, but she's like, yes, Nicole, what do you need? So I appreciate that tremendously. I can't say enough about how you've grown in reference to all that has been thrown at you. So while I wasn't part of this nomination, I am super excited that you were selected as it. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. So. There we go.
Mr. President, that completes our announcements and acclamations.
Yeah, that was Southern Scripts.
That was self-descriptive.
Any additions or deletions?
Yes, I'd like to add to the agenda to consider and or approve the magnet consultant contract as required by our magnet grant. This is a requirement of the, no cost to the district, it's just part of the way the grant was written, we have to have a magnet consultant, someone who's an expert in the magnet realm, as well as with administering the grant, the funds from the grant.
Okay, that'll be, new business 5E. Any other additions or deletions? Okay. Any items to be removed from consent agenda to be discussed later? If not, I will entertain a motion to accept consent agenda items. Moved by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Clay. All in favor, just vote. Motion passes. Full Finance Committee recommendations.
Mr. Forte,
Yes.
I did, the principal and I have been, going back and forth as far as the dollar amount goes on the Medicaid. She feels that if it's $100,000, they ought to have get everything together. If she's just asking for an answer tonight, so they can get the ball rolling and everything. I think it's gonna be a lot less than that, personally, but, she put down $100,000. If y'all wanna put a dollar amount to it, then we can go from there and try to get it approved tonight.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I'm motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Poche to accept the loan to Cecilia High School. Do we have a second?
Second.
Who has a second? Mr. Stelling? All right, any discussion?
That's part of the finance.
Right.
That was just I didn't have the dollar amount now.
So is that motion in addition to all other finance committee items?
Yes.
Yes. That's falling back on finance.
All right,
We get to see.
right. So that would be approving items A, B, and C on the finance committee.
Actually, it would be D. C would be the chiller that we added.
What?
The chiller would be C that we added, so D would be
So that
the,
would be D.
yes.
Okay. All right, and we have a motion and a second, let's vote. Motion passes.
Technology helps out.
What?
It's a pain sometimes.
All right, new business, presentation by members of New Iberia Alumni Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Sorority.
Yes, Mr. President, the members of the New Iberia Alumni Chapter would like to come up and discuss some of the work that they're doing within the community and the support and assistance that they do give to districts.
Okay.
Ms. James? Are you, would you prefer if we wait until Ms. James shows up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back,
Come back to it?
We'll come
Okay.
back.
All right, we'll come back to it. All right, item B, consider and take action with respect to adopting resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in St. Mark Parish School District, Louisiana. To authorize renewal of an ad valorem tax therein, making application to the state bond commission and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Ms. Broussard?
One of our bond millages is expiring, so this is just, adopting the resolution to apply to have it on an election. I think it's going to be in the spring for the renewal. It's one
When
of
is
our,
that money allocated to?
it's one of our maintenance taxes.
All right, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Steve, second by Mr. Durio. Please vote. Motion passes. All right, item C, consider and approve Head Start Policy Council recommendations, PC minutes, new hire recommendations.
So these are minor things, we had our enrollment report, the regular report, and then we did have some new hire recommendations that are listed in your packet.
All right, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Poche,
Second.
second by Mr. Durio. Please vote. Motion passes. Item D, consider and approve contract for policy 360, the policy updating service for Forethought Consulting Incorporated. Mr. Wills?
Yes, this is our annual contract with Policy 360. They help with development of the policy manual that is used by the district. So this is a standard contract that we renew in reference to our policies, our board policies.
All right. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Poche,
Second.
second by Mr. Marley. Please vote. Motion passes. All right. Next would be the magnet consulting person, hiring a magnet consultant person, correct?
Yes, Mr. President, the consultant comes highly recommended. She has been the president of the Magnet Schools of America Association for a long number of years, as well as has overseen the development of the magnet schools within the East Baton Rouge Parish. So she's kind of highly recommended and and it's important that we have this person because when it will be time for us to have discussions or in-depth discussions in reference to our magnet schools, she will be someone that we could rely upon to be able to discuss certain aspects of the magnet program and the magnet implementation. And there's no cost to the district. This is something that is already written into the grant that we will award.
Okay.
There's no cost to the.
Any other discussion? Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Clay, second by Alderman Johnson. Please vote. Motion passes. All right, item 6, board member requests, discussion of usage of parish vehicles in state of.
Thank you, Mr. Pote. First of all, I'd like to thank the employees that are utilizing our parish vehicles the correct way. So if you're using it the correct way, this does not apply to you. And I want to make that point clear. If it doesn't pertain to you, don't listen. But there are some in our system. We have employees who are misusing our vehicle, guys. We had one of them for the Cecilia High School homecoming parade. 3:30 in the afternoon, parked right across the street. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, but I live right across the street also. I'm seeing this. And it's one of our school board employees. And I brought it up to Mr. Wilks, because I had to ask him. Another thing was, what time does our maintenance crew work till? Because I see another one doing some other activities, and I'm saying, don't work till 3:30, 4 o'clock. I didn't know, I'll be honest, I didn't know what time they got off. And, it just keeps on popping up, these certain vehicles. And listen, I don't see them all the time, but people are telling me this. So again, if somebody tells me something, I'll address it. We have one at 5 o'clock in the afternoon getting off the Brew Bridge exit in a school board employee truck. And it makes you wonder, if we get off at 3:30, was that truck still on the road at 5 o'clock? And you're gonna have all kind of excuses in the world. We were picking up this, we were doing that. Chances are that they probably weren't. Because you had one person that tells me, and the person's no longer with the company, with the parish. Every day for lunch, that guy would pass in front of his house at the same time and go and take his lunch break. So no matter where he was at in the parish, if it was 11 o'clock, that guy was telling me he was passing, 11 o'clock, he was going there. So I think we need to start policing a little bit better. And me personally, I wouldn't have a problem with having the computer,
I thought it has
We had
GPS.
we have it. Fred has it, Mr. Darcel has it, and Mr. Delphine has it probably. But I don't have a problem with if we have it on our laptop computers ourselves. So, because then listen, again, I'm in a section where there's no school, and I'm saying, at least I didn't think there was a school. I'd forgotten that we had Head Start. I'm in Orneville, and I'm seeing this truck in Orneville, I'm saying, and this is a year and a half ago, and I'm saying, why is this truck in Orneville in the closest school in Cecilia? And I forgot about it. I called Al did the research. They were at the Huron, Head Start. So again, if somebody's doing it right, great. But we have in situations like that. And then you see another one. A lot of the times what's happening, from what I'm understanding, is people hide their truck behind the house when they should be working. And then when you catch them, they tell you they're on their lunch break at 10:30 in the morning. You just soon tell me that you're none of my business, And then the last one I'm hearing, and I didn't even get a chance to discuss this one with Mr. Willis. We got an employee that parks the vehicle, at least he's parking, and he goes and he takes his lawn service and he goes cuts his grass while he's working right now. That'd be the equivalent to a teacher leaving their classroom, going to work at the local grocery store, coming back and still collecting the school board check. We gotta start monitoring these people a lot better, because it's to the point where if people come and complain to us, and the only thing I ask, and I tell this to my personal family, don't put me in a bad situation to where I have to address it. And that's what's happening, they're putting us in bad situations. I mean, it is what it is, and listen, I have no problem. I see people all the time going to get a plate lunch at different grocery stores. They go and pick it up and going back. Great, you gotta eat sometime, and I'm sure your principal knows that you're over here. No problem, but when we have things that are being abusive, it needs to start being addressed. And I'll have to bring it up because I didn't want Mr. Wills to say that he was, no, I'm the one that's complaining about it. I wanted my fellow board members to know about it, so y'all can start being aware of it and take it from there.
I will say, Mr. Mark and I have had conversations, I've had conversations with other board members as well. This is very, very concerning because we know that we live in a world where people are quick to sue. And if you're in the wrong area doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and you get into an accident in a school board vehicle, then it causes an issue for us. The amount of money that is being wasted because of lawsuits, because of accidents that have happened, is mind blowing. But at the same time, if you know you don't belong in an area and you know that you're not doing something right, do the work that you're supposed to do and don't get caught somewhere. It's mind blowing that you have employees that have the audacity to tell people that at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're having lunch. I don't have an issue with you having a light snack at 10 o'clock, but there's no way you're having lunch. And then you're telling a lie about it. We're all adults, we're responsible, taxpayers are fund what we do, so we shouldn't be abusing the money that taxpayers are paying to support the district. So it's just something that's concerning. Mr. Darrison and I, we've had our discussions, as well as we're gonna continue to closely monitor vehicles, and if I have to pop up on a vehicle where it doesn't belong, then it's gonna be an issue. Because we have work that needs to be done. The vehicles have been purchased with taxpayer dollars so that they can be used to maintain the district. We have some great facilities, we have some improvements that we're doing, but it shouldn't be abused.
Mr. Wilson, are these vehicles taken home at night, or everything's turned into a yard and you pick it up in the morning?
Most of the vehicles are taken home.
Taken home?
So if you see somebody that's
We
possibly
might have to go to that type of situation.
Yeah.
You go to that situation, you might not have too many employees. But you already have a problem, you got a skeleton crew right now.
But what you need
You know what I'm saying, but
is
you
your
have to
problem
address
employees,
that.
you need to say,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah, I agree with you on
you
that.
gave away your privileges. We're not gonna penalize the good employees. Because those who are using it,
Exactly,
I'm parking right here every afternoon,
right,
Yeah,
you get called out at night.
exactly.
Come
Those
get it.
who abuse it, right.
Right.
Mr.
that's a
Beach?
good point. Mhm.
The only, and probably the maintenance department would be the most visible of the school board vehicles that are in the parish on the road daily. The maintenance department being the only department that was brought up. And you bringing up numerous occasions of violations. Violations have occurred in the past, and when given to Mr. Darracell, he immediately gives it to me. I then pull up, see exactly whether that vehicle, whether started, stopped, moving 24/7 is on that grid. So I know exactly, you can pull up on any point in time and see where the car is, where the truck is, the speed of the truck, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you're saying numerous times it's been brought to your attention, brought to Mr. Wilson's attention, not brought to you, and you're coming up and wanting policies and so forth. Never been brought to my attention. You know, I would think that if there is a protocol that my department is in violation of, or individuals in my department, the only way that I can address that, it would be if I'm made aware of it. Okay? And I'm just saying this to the maintenance department. If you're talking about any other departments, it doesn't concern me. So I would think that if numerous times violations are being brought to your attention, or anyone else for that matter, that it be brought to Mr. Wilkes, Mr. Darracell, myself, or whoever would be in my position, to where those issues can be brought to the individual and rectified. You know, I make mention, whenever these things were brought to my attention, I tell them, you're driving a banana. You have this big St. Martin Parish School Board sticker on it. If you're speeding, if you're driving recklessly, if you're somewhere where you do not belong, believe me, with all of the people in the parish, it will be brought to the attention of someone. Okay, and when it's brought to the attention, if there is a protocol in place to be brought to the attention of the department manager, I would think that it would be addressed. And the numerous occasions would be minimized due to the fact that, no, this is not going to be tolerated, and you got your eyes on it. You know, I would think that maybe just an enforcement or reaffirmation of the protocol in regards to what you're talking about, if that would be implemented, I think that your concerns would be minimized.
But I'm glad you spoke up, because if they had a situation, it would be a truck. I called up Mr. Wilson. He addressed it, and I think y'all corrected that problem, you know, and when Al was there, I used to go with Al, because I knew I didn't realize until just recently that he had one, you had one, and Mr. Darracell had one. I didn't know how it worked, to be honest with you. But
Now, in regards to Mr. Durio's statement, you know, we're on 24/7 call. Any individual within the department at any point in time, when an emergency occurs, needs to be able to get onto site at the most opportune and judicious time as possible. You know, I'll give you an example. I live in the St. Martinville area. You know, when a fire alarm goes off, all of the other individuals on the north end of the parish, I go take care of it. Okay, St. Martin Primary, ELC, Senior High. If the fire department is called out, we're making arrangements to be able to give the fire department access to the schools to where they don't have to wait for an attendant to go there. Me and Mr. Welch are in the process, Mr. Darrell in the process of taking care of that. However, just think about this. I'm in St. Martinville. My truck is parked at the maintenance shop here in Breaux Bridge. I get a call to attend to an emergency in St. Martinville. Do I take my personal truck to pick up a truck at the maintenance shop, go take care of the problem in St. Martinville? Upon completion of that, go back to Breaux Bridge, pick up my truck, go back to my house. This was a 3 o'clock call. Guess what? It's 6 o'clock. I need to get back in my truck to come back to Breaux Bridge. So really and truly, it's just not feasible with, now, other departments, it may be feasible. It's not feasible with the maintenance department.
What was the situation?
So we
Yeah, and I'm just giving the example
Yeah, I
to where,
understand. You can also
yeah,
say
it
that-
would be on
You can find-
paper practical,
You can find
but
pieces
in real
like
life,
this.
I don't think practical.
Yeah, certain people do need their vehicles, I understand that.
Yeah, but another thing is, and we do this with UPS, we have satellite areas where our trucks are stationed at certain places. It doesn't have to be at the maintenance department. It could be in St. Martin. The life of it, with technology nowadays, if you're going to pick up parts at the maintenance building, I get it. But if you just want to pick up your work order for the day, we need to possibly look at that in the future, that, you know, whatever school, you can be at a reporting school like our supervisor. Okay, this maintenance person is going to be assigned where he's going to park right here and geographically located. You know, like you said, Martinville people, put them over there, Breaux Bridge, because
I think you're opening a can of worms, but that's y'all.
I think one of the things that
Trying to
generally
work.
makes it easiest in the morning, it's almost like, and I know UPS is somewhat different, but it's almost like everybody's at the hub. We're distributing the work that needs to be done and saying, look, this is a priority. This needs to be the first thing that you take care of. So it's easier to have them in an area where we can distribute the work that needs to be done and say, look, this is a priority. These are the next things, that almost triaging what needs to happen so that we get to the most crucial things first, if I'm correct in saying that there's.
and I'm gonna go back to my original statement. If it doesn't apply to that person, don't worry about it. It's the employees that are doing the wrong thing that people are talking about. And quit putting the board and all of y'all in a bad situation. You know, do the right thing. You don't hear about it. But it keeps on getting thrown in our face, or thrown in my face. I'm pretty sure other ones hear about it too. Because I'm sure superintendent hears about it.
I've heard.
But again, if you're doing the right thing, don't penalize that. Take the privilege away from those who are doing the wrong things. I'm finished with that.
All right, next item, we need to go back to item 5A.
Correct.
Presentation by members of the Iberia Alumni Chapter.
Ms. James?
Good evening, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Superintendent Bills and members of the St. Martin Parish School Board. My name is Faith James, and I'm president of New Iberia Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We service St. Martinville and the surrounding areas, as well as New Iberia and the surrounding areas. May I have the members of the chapter to please stand and be recognized? On behalf of the chapter, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening, or this afternoon. The New Iberia Alumni Chapter represents over 50 years of service and scholarship in the St. Martinville communities and in New Iberia. Our service activities and the positive relationships are evident in many of our programs. We are also pleased to award academic high school students scholarships in our service area, and the amount totals over $5,000 a year. Through our Echo Sparrow Fine Arts Award, talented students are provided financial support so that they may continue to improve in the arts. With our award-winning Youth Initiative Mentoring Program, we work with students in grades 6 to 12, helping them to enhance their educational and cultural development. New Iberia Alumni Chapter is also pleased to collaborate with local schools with literacy efforts and the support of healthy lifestyles. As a chapter, our community outreach programs are in the areas of physical and mental health, economic development, volunteerism, and social action activities, stressing voters' education and registration. We are actively involved in the community, working through our motto of not only sisterhood, but also of service, scholarship, and social action. We really look forward to continuing and enhancing our relationship with St. Martin Parish School Board and with our community. Again, I would like to thank you for this opportunity just to come before you this evening, this afternoon, and present ourselves and let you know that if at any time we can be assistance to you, the school board, the schools, and the community, please call on us because we are always willing to lend a helping hand. Thank you.
I want to make one announcement. Our principal at St. Martinville Junior High is in this group. And the little time I spent with her, I learned a lot. She's there for business.
Thank you, Ms. James, and the members of Delta Sigma Theta. We appreciate your willingness to continue to work with St. Martin Parish. The work that you do is very impactful and important in the district. So please continue to reach out to us, Ms. James. I called, I still have your cell number stored in my phone. I said, let me call Ms. James up to tell her. But thank y'all so much. We really, really appreciate it.
And thank you.
You got it.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Coche, to go into executive session. Second, all in favor? All right, Mr. Wilson, this is the first item from the executive session, student aid.
Yes, student aid, I'd like to make a motion that student aid be returned back, lack of evidence.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Durian. Any discussion? All right, let's vote. Motion passes. All right. Student B,
Student B, follow that staff's recommendation.
follow staff recommendation. I have a motion on that. Do you have a second? Second by Mr. Clay. Any discussion? All right, let's vote. If that's all, including the others absent. Okay.
I voted yes also. Mine's not gonna come up. It's broken.
It's not gonna come up. Okay, motion passes. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Poche, second by Mr. Clay, all in favor? Motion adjourned.